Hey guys, welcome to the start of a video series that we're going to do for Dear PyGui. I'm one of the creators of Dear PyGui, and what we decided to do was, rather than have a formal tutorial set that we'd eventually like to do once we get out of beta, we're going to go ahead and do a video set now. This will act both as a devlog and as a tutorial set. Things are subject to change since we are not out of beta yet, but for the most part, this should be a pretty good resource for everybody, and things shouldn't be changing too much. So to start off with, to give you guys a little bit of a background on the library we're wrapping, which is Dear PyGui or Dear PyGui. Not really sure the best way to pronounce that. It's an immediate mode GUI library. So basically what that means, let me go to their let's go to his repository. If you look at it, you can kind of see and read about it, and basically even about how immediate mode GUIs work. I'm not going to try to explain that. I'm no expert, but basically it's typically used for content creation tools or debugging tools inside of real-time applications, for example, like a video game. So to show you guys an example of that usage is this, where you have this 3D engine and 3D world, and to help with debugging and controlling different elements of the world, there's an GUI layer that can be used to do that. So for example, here, where you can control this light, or you can, control the ambient background. You can do a lot of stuff here. Let's see what else. Control, maybe this cube, and just various different things. But that's one way that GUI is used. It's not really meant to be used as a full GUI. And like I said, it's immediate mode, which I'm not going to try to explain, but it's not what you typically be used to with something like Tkinter or Qt or something like that. So start off with, to download this, we currently only support Python 3, and at the moment that's Python 3.6, 3.7, and 3.8. 3.9, we're just waiting on the runners, on AppBear to add 3.9 runners on their system. We've put in a pull request, which they accepted, but we're not sure when they're going to actually build and deploy that. So anyway, if you're on Mac or Linux, you can pretty much just download Python and get going from that. But for Windows, you're not going to be able to just go click this, because at the moment we don't support 32-bit. We will when we move out of beta, but for now we're just supporting 64-bit. So to install that, you actually have to click there and go to 3.8.6 or whatever version you want, and go to the x86 64-bit installer, not the x86. So once you've installed that, what we use to, or at least what I personally use when I'm developing Python programs, is Pycharm. I know some people use VS Code and whatever else there is, but this is typically what I use. So if you are using this, I can show you kind of how to set that up. Actually, I already have it set up, but you would just go create a new project, and we're using a virtual environment. And other than that, once you've got it open, you should see something like this. You should have to set up a configuration where you can select Python, and select the file that you want to start. In this case, we're using main.py. Next, you can pip install, and the easiest way to do that, rather than doing it at the command line in Pycharm, is to go to Settings, Python Interpreter, and you'll end up at this screen. You can hit the add symbol, and you can look up Dear PyGui. It should show up. At the time of this video, 0.5.10 is the most up-to-date version. So once you've installed that, that is it. You can start using it. So just kind of show you guys, just to start from Dear PyGui. Just show you guys the demo. Start off with show demo, and then start Dear PyGui, and from there you should be able to run that. and see something like this. Now, for the sake of this video series, this text is pretty small, so what I'm going to do is actually add a different font. I'm going to do that by, I already have it in there, but basically you can add an OTF or TTF file, and I did that, and the command you would use for that. So I need to actually import. And I'll explain these different modules in another video. But basically the three that you have is the demo one, which only holds the demo. Simple, which holds some simple wrappings to make things a little bit easier. And then the actual core module. And I'm going to add additional font. And it's going to be the name of that file. And then the size you want to import it as. And from there you get a little bit better font, a little bit better experience than the mono-spaced PyGui. I think PyGui Clean is the name of the font by default. That's baked into Dear PyGui. So, to kind of start off, just show you guys one last thing in this video is just creating a simple window. So you could use with window, tutorial, and we're going to add a button. So if you click run, you'll see that. Now if you're looking at an older version of Dear PyGui, or you might have seen different pictures where this appears to fill the whole screen, that's what we call a primary window, where it fills this viewport. And the way you can do that is you can actually pass into Start Dear PyGui. There's a keyword for primary window, and you just set it equal to tutorial, which is the name of that window. What that'll do is do this. Another way you can do that more explicitly is you can do set primary window tutorial and set it true. And a few things about this. The primary window does a few things. It obviously removes, it forces it to size with the viewport, as you can see. The other thing it does is it gets rid of its transparency, so that you can't see the background of the viewport. It also forces that window to always be in the back. So if you were to create another window like this, it will always be in front of that primary window. So regardless of what has focus, this will always be in the back. And that is about it for this one. So hopefully you guys, this helped out a little bit, and we're going to keep making these. So hopefully they're being watched. Otherwise we're just wasting our time. But anyway, until next time.